Good morning. This is the weekend update for buy sell short for Saturday, October 6th. Nice little pop in the market on Friday. We had the jobs report come out. A little better than expected, but a big drop. Well, not a big drop, a 0.3 of a point drop in the unemployment rate, but raised a lot of issues for a lot of people with, of course, the election upcoming, calls of manipulation and whatnot. Absolute crackpot nonsense led by the ex-CEO of GE, Jack Welch, saying the numbers were rigged. Got a couple of Republicans coming out and saying the same thing. Absolute hogwash, if you ask me. But it is election season, and, this is what we're stuck with. If you actually read the report and actually understand how the jobs report is put together, you'll understand why the jobs rate actually did come down the way it did. Things are a lot better than they seem out there. We've got housing rebounding. We've got confidence upticking, but, we've got an election upcoming, and none of that stuff matters until after the election, so that's where we stand. Anyway, as for the Dow 15-minute chart, we were actually able to peak just above the breakout level and then slowly faded into the close, but we still are trapped within this little 300-point rectangle, but thanks to that sell-off we had late on Friday, things point towards an up open on Monday, unless we get some sort of crazy news in the interim. Looking at the daily chart on the Dow, you can see we peaked just above that level. All the moving averages are in an uptrend. We are about to get a positive MACD cross on the Dow, and the last couple of positive MACD crosses on the Dow have resulted in big upside moves. As you can see, going back into July, we've seen 300-400 point up moves as a result of a positive MACD cross on the Dow. And now that Stochastics has done that little double dip bounce off the 50 level and on bounce volume looks good, all things point towards an up move this week. Now, we've got a lot of noise coming up this week. It is options expiration week, and you'll recall the last options expiration week, we sort of went back and forth, and as I mentioned before, typically during early QE cycles, and we're in a new quantitative easing cycle, the market tends to get painted up into options expiration. So let's see if that holds true again going into this week. We do have a lot of earnings reports. This is earnings season starts in earnest this week. We've got Alcoa kicking it off really on Tuesday. So I actually think we might see some sort of disappointment in a lot of earnings reports, but it's all going to depend on the guidance, and it's 50-50 where that's going to go. We're seeing a lot of improvement out there. If you look at a lot of the look through the headline numbers and actually read the reports, things are starting to get a little bit better, but we are in an election cycle. We've got a lot of uncertainty out there. So things are going to possibly be muddled. If we did not have QE right now, the market would be in trouble. But we have QE, and that's sort of going to make things continue to get ignored by the market, because the market, the money has only one place to go right now, and a lot of funds have underperformed big time the returns we've seen this year. S&P is up 16%. I believe I read a stat where the average hedge fund is showing a 4, 5, 6% return. Absolutely not acceptable, and they are going to start chasing stocks going into the end of the year. Russell, small cap, nice early pop, but we had a sell-off into the close on small caps. Not uncommon given it's a Friday. RSI holding pretty stable. Stochastics still, deeply oversold and just starting an uptrend move. So I would look for an upside continuation on this week. Now, this continues to be really a market of one stock, Apple. And what led to a lot of the weakness in Apple to the market on Friday was a 14-point drop on Apple. And as you can see right now, we've got a head and shoulders formation on Apple with a breakdown at 650. Now we've got options expiration upcoming this week, and the max pain point for options is 640. If you're not familiar what max pain is, that is the level where the highest dollar value of calls and the highest dollar value of put options expire worthless. Why does that mean anything? Well, options writers, the guys who create options, want options at each options period to expire worthless so that they can collect their money. So there's an incentive to manipulate stock prices so that they do actually expire worthless. So going to be worth watching Apple early this week. If we get a neckline breakdown, there is a possibility of 620 on a downside break, but this is Apple. It trades weird. We've got QE money out there. More of a watch and see how this chart pattern develops, but it is not a very healthy looking chart with a hell of a lot of selling over the last week or so on this stock. Anyway, let's jump into some stock plays. DARA, Dara Bioscience. We jumped into this one 103 on Friday. We're big breakout on this one a couple of weeks ago. Has consolidated down here at the 20-day exponential. We're expecting news on this one near term with product launch of the breast cancer drug. We got a nice little spike on volume. Got one of those bullshit closes on the bell on Friday, but it's on the pop scan again. 111 break. We're looking for 122 plus. RSI held 50 nicely on this retrace. Stochastics in the basement. On bounce volume also looks like it's ready for an uptick. We've got a strong ADX still, so this one should be a nice play going into this week. Biotechs have been very, very strong over the last few days, and that works great for us because we trade a lot of biotech stocks. ANTH, we've got two chart patterns on this one. The one I have identified right here, this is a very large symmetrical triangle breakout. The breakout is about 117, 118 on it, and the way you calculate the target on it is you take the highest point of the triangle, which at this point is $1, added to the break, which would imply a move up to the 2s level. Or we take the smaller one, which is a breakout at 708. Height of the triangle here is about 30 cents, so we'd be looking at a move to 140. So let's look for a first target of 129, then 140 area, and see how it plays out. I'm just giving you guys an idea how to read these chart patterns. The big breakout will be, of course, at that 118, 120 level. But chart looks ready to go. Stochastics in the basement, and biotech stocks are doing very, very well. Now, what's been a big driver on biotech stocks and stocks in general lately are stocks that have an upcoming event. Traders have been chasing them like crazy. CUR, they're reporting or giving an update on their ALS drug after hours on Monday. We got a very nice spike on this one to $1.42 on Friday. We jumped into it on Thursday at $1.22, hit our first target, so a very, very nice move. Got a pullback into the close, but I would expect a secondary push into the data on Monday, so we're setting up very, very nicely on this one. Now, another one that we're in for upcoming news is PTN. They are expected to release Phase 2 trial data mid-October, so in the coming days. Breakout on this one is 75 cents, and we're looking for a move to 93 to $1. RSI upticking. We got a positive MACD cross on Friday. ADX is very strong. We got a nice double bottom bounce off this level on stochastics back above the 50, and on bounce volume is showing an accumulation. This should be a very nice mover this week. Most traders don't realize we've got an upcoming event on this one, and they have been chasing upcoming events. So this should be a very, very nice mover for us in the coming days. NBS, another stem cell play, frustrating trading action on Friday. Got a big walk down, all the way back down. But as you can see on this chart, this happens pretty frequently on this chart and then ends up rebounding again. Not happy about the action on it, but I'm going to continue to play it with stops at 65 cents. And hopefully what we saw on Friday is what we call a dip and rip. They dip, stop everyone out, and then rip it higher. So let's see if that's the case this upcoming week. And if CUR has some big news on Monday, CUR or NBS and STEM should respond in kind. STEM, disappointing action as well on Friday, but still on watch for a continuation move. Breakout is 230 is where I would be looking to pick this one up, or a dip down around the $2 level. ECTY, getting close to a breakout here. what these guys do is charging stations for electric cars. Breakout is 53 cents. First target, 65 cents. They are about to announce that they're going to start charging for hooking your electric car up. Right now, it's been subsidized free so that they can roll out, get people used to it. They've said on their earnings report they're about ready to start charging, which means a big income boost for this company. And the best time to be in a small cap stock is right when they're about to see a sales explosion, and that could be coming up very, very soon for ECTY. GAIL, as you can see right here, symmetrical triangle breakout. We got a little tease of a breakout on Thursday, then it gave it all back on that market dip. The next buy is 201. We're sitting in it right now with stops at, if you give it a little bit of rope, you could go back down to the $1.74 level. Breakout, still on the symmetrical triangle, the breakout is 192 to 195, but the next place I would be looking to buy is a 201 break with a 230 target. We are about to get a positive MACD cross probably on Monday. The last positive MACD cross on this stock saw a 20-cent pop in the next session. So if we go off actually the last 2, 3, 4 positive MACD crosses have resulted in a big one-day up move here. So we should get one Monday, Tuesday at the latest, and going off the last few positive MACD crosses, things look good for a nice move up this week on GAIL. NLST, patent plays got a lot of mention this week. NLST, bottom of the chart, $1.20 stops, 20-day exponential, 120 or 136. Nibble some of this one with 123 area. We're about to get a positive MACD cross, and again, like other stocks, positive MACD crosses have resulted in big upside moves, and this stock is deeply oversold right now and looking for a reason to move. Last but not least, PURE. We tried this one a couple of weeks ago, got a very nice pop on it, then they shook the crap out of it, took it all the way down to trigger stops, and since then it's been slowly moving higher. On Friday we got a trend line break going into the close on some sneaky volume. RSI has upticked. Stochastics have broken the 50 level. We are about to get positive money flow on this stock. This is a stock, just like when we entered before, reverse split, tanked on the reverse split, has consolidated, and really could have some serious upside momentum, and I think it could happen this week. A breakthrough $1.22, and this stock is off to the races, I think. We could be looking at a 25 to 50% move on this stock early this week, so keep a very, very close eye on it. Entry $1.12 and under with 105 stops. We've got minimal downside with potentially very, very big upside. And when these reverse split tanker stocks start to move higher, they get volume and they tend to move big for a few days. So this one, high on the radar for this week. That's it for the video. If you've got any questions, shoot me an email, feedback, buysellshort.com. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the chat room on Monday. Goodbye.